and today we will discuss about PSP and TSP, personal software process, and TSP is team software process. So these two things we have to cover up. And what are they that we will see? Very simple to understand. The PSP is about development into the personal area of the engineer, personalized way. So basically, you can say it is a structured software development process which is designed to help the engineers to better understand themselves and improve their performance by bringing discipline in the way they do things, in the way they develop. So in this way you can understand. I am repeating this line because these topics are kind of topics, if you will hear once, if you will just go through them once, you can make your answers. So what this PSP is all about, personal software process. First thing it is showing, it is visibly seen from the name itself, personal software process. So first thing we are talking about personal development. Okay. So it is a structured process, structured development process also you can say, which is being designed to help engineers, software engineers, to better understand themselves and to improve their performance by bringing discipline in the way they develop software. So that is called as a personal software process. So to do that, they have to follow some framework. They have to analyze their work in a continuous manner so they can improve it. I hope you understood this part. What is PS? So this PSP, personal process for developing software or for doing any another defined activity, that is written over here in this slide. It provides a measurement and analysis framework for characterizing and managing your personal work. So how you do that? How you will manage your personal work? How you will characterize your personal work when you are working in an organization? So this PSP, in starting of the lectures of this subject, SPPM, I told you two books I told you for this subject. One was of Watts Humphrey and another was of this Walker Royce that we are following. So this Watts Humphrey, this person only developed this. This person gave this approach of PS, personal software process. And why he gave this approach, he was this PSP was created by Watts Humphrey to apply the underlying principles in the SCI, that Software Engineering Institute. This term will come up again and again when we are talking about maturity framework, CMM models, because CMM model was being given by SEI, Software Engineering Institute of US. So Watts Humphrey developed that this PSP and TSP both are being developed by Watts Humphrey, and he gave to improvise the process of the this SCI, Software Engineering Institute. So in this one, what you have to remember first, what is it? After that, how you can improvise your personal process, how you can make improvements in your process that you are utilizing in the development. If someone has unmuted himself, please mute yourself. If you are having doubts in between, if you want to ask something, please message in the chat box. Don't unmute yourself. Okay? So this one, this process, it clearly shows that developers how to manage the quality of their products, how to make a sound plan, how to make commitments. All these things covered up into this personal software process, and they have to actually focus on these things to improvise their process, uh, the way they are working on development of the software. So it is, this particular topic is all about those things. How they will do that? Uh, First, they have to analyze the requirements. If some requirements are not there, but they are not telling to the upper authorities, that can create a problem. They can evaluate their work and suggest improvement direction by analyzing and reviewing development time, defects, data size that they are utilizing. So these are some points that you can utilize for giving the introduction of this PSP. So this PSP and TSP, these two topics that we are talking about today. They both are related to each other. That also you have to remember. It claims to give software engineers this PSP, personal software process. It aims to give the software engineers the skills, the necessary skills to work on TSP. So, on the basis of the principles of TSP, you will work on TSP, or you will utilize TSP. Okay. TSP is nothing but team software process. This is your personal, and that is on the team when you are working together with people. So on the you will utilize this personal software process for the principles of TSP also when you are working with TSP. So that you have to remember. And in this particular one, uh, there are some objectives we have to remember. There are some structures we have to remember that we will cover up in this topic. And another thing that we have to do, I will show you. These are the phases, and you can say this is also called a structure. So this we have to cover, and some benefits you have to cover, and the objectives. So in this particular topic, how questions can come up, because the basic introductory part in a brief way you have understood what is PSP and what you have to remember in that. But how questions can come up, the question can come up, one direct question can come, like discuss about PSP and its objectives. Then you have to just cover up that part. If it is coming like you discuss just about PSP, then you can cover up all the content that we are going to discuss right now. Everything you can write down, or as much as you require according to the marks of the question, you can utilize the content. So about this diagram that is given over here, scripts, first is scripts, then requirements, finished products, and in requirements after that the phases are happening: planning, designing, coding, compiling, testing, and then postmortem. PM represents the postmortem. So that is another phase. You can say PM means you are validating, you are going on the phase of checking it out. Maintenance also you can say, the last phase, if you want to relate it with the previous models that you have studied. So after that, logs are nothing but the your backup copies that we have to maintain, and the project summary, project and process data summary report. So that complete report has to be given. So this PSP process is designed for individual use. It is based on scaled down industrial software practice. And this PSP course demonstrates the value of using a defined and measured. It helps you and the organization to meet the increasing demands for high quality and timely software. About this diagram, it includes these defined steps that you have to remember. First about scripts, then the requirements that are to be met, and just give me a second. Yes. So this flow you have to remember how they have to work. They are working on scripts, and on the basis of the guidance of the supervisor and the manager, they are gathering requirements. Planning is happening. These are simple phases that we have already studied in the life cycle models. Postmortem is a new term that came up in this particular topic, and that nothing but you can relate it with your validation part, and then logs, and then project summary. So you can say this is a process flow diagram. There are very simple terms and nothing much to discuss about it. Simple phases that we have already studied are there. So this you have to remember, and this then you the main part comes up over your phases that can come up as separate question also. PSP 0, PSP 1, um, then PSP 2, 3, and the complete overall strategy you have to remember. So here, um, overall, in a brief way, what you have to remember in this particular diagram, you are gathering the data, you are estimating and planning, you are managing the defects, and then you are controlling the cost of the quality. So that is all about your PSP. And now, how you will improvise this process? You have to find out the defects. You have to keep the record of your developed things, and then you have to make a summary, and then you have to analyze it. If something was not proper, according to the customer feedback, also you can improvise. So, doing things in a planned and proper way will definitely improvise your process on personal grounds also, and it will help out the organization. So here I'm moving to next slide. This particular diagram is very important and it can come up as a separate question that I just told you. What are the different phases of the PSP process? In that way it can come up. So this PSP 0, 1, 2, and there are different versions of it: PSP 0.1, PSP 1.1, PSP 2.1. In this way, we have to remember. Now I will tell you some of the points. What are they, and how you can remember it. And after this, we will discuss some of the objectives. But first, I want to discuss this structure to make you understand what this PSPs are. So this PSP training, it follows an evolutionary improvement approach. Okay, this particular diagram is showing you an improvement approach, an engineer learning to integrate the PSP into his or her process, and which begins at level number one, first level, that is PSP 0, and progresses in the form of maturity. So here you can relate it with your maturity framework. Here again the maturity level is increasing at every level. The process is getting mature, and people are trying to improvise their own process on their personal ground, and it reached to the final level of PSP 2.1. So each level has their detailed scripts, has the checklists, and has the templates to guide the engineer through the necessary steps and helps the engineer to improve their own personal software process. Okay, so I hope you are getting over here what we are talking about. We are talking about the software engineer who is trying to improve himself, who is trying to improve his own process, and utilizing these phases he can do. Okay, so this Watts Humphrey encourages the engineers to customize their scripts and templates that you have seen in first diagram also, their development scripts that they are utilizing for the development of the software, to gain an understanding of their strengths and weaknesses, to understand where, in which area they have to improve more. So that is a purpose of becomes one of the purpose of this particular model. Now this process, the input to this PSP is the requirements. Okay, requirements we have to give to this process, and the requirements document is completed and delivered to the engineer. Now about this PSP 0 and PSP 0.1. What happens in that, and what that engineer is working on when they are on this initial level, you can say. So PSP 0 has basically three phases that you can remember, and some of the terms given over in this diagram also, you can relate things with the terms that are written over here, the current process that they are working on, time recording, in how much time they're completing the things, defect recording, defect type standard, which type of defects are happening. So it introduces basically at this level PSP 0 and 0.1. Okay, they introduces process discipline and measurement, and this a baseline is being established, you can say, of current process measuring, time spent on the programming, faults injected, faults removed, size of the program. So these things are to be checked in post-mortem, that last phase, PM. Okay. Here, what happens in post-mortem, the engineer ensures all data of the projects have been properly recorded and analyzed. And this PSP 0.1, advances the process by adding a coding standard. So here one thing is improvised from the level 0, it has been improvised to 0.1, and here coding standard has been added up where the standard of coding is being checked, size measurement, and the development of the personal uh, process improvement plan PIP, that is personal process improvement plan. So these things in this PIP, what happens? The engineer records ideas for improving his own. So this improvement proposal, or somewhere you will find it out as a plan also. You can check in some books, you will find it out as process improvement plan, process improvement proposal. But the thing is same. What they have to do, engineer has to record the ideas for improving their process. So that happens in this PSP 0 and 0.1. I hope I made the point clear over here for this initial level 0 and 0.1, what you have to remember. Some of the things, what is the current process, how much time is required for the programming, how much time engineer is taking for the programming, how much faults are being injected during programming, and how many faults have been removed. These things are to be taken care of this at this initial level. At 0.1, the thing has been improvised with coding standard and size measurement, size of the program and the project, you can say. And this PIP has been maintained by the engineer, in which he keeps the data on which he has to work, on which he has to improve himself. So that is PIP. So this happens on this PSP 0, 0.1. Then this PSP 1 and 1.1. This second phase or second level, you can say, this I'm considering, I'm telling you in the way, this is level 1, this is level 2, and this is level 3, and all these together as PSP will help out the TSP, team development. Okay, so again I'm telling you, this diagram is very important. If you understood this diagram in a proper way, you can attempt any question of PSP. So I told you PSP 0 and 0.1 is all about introducing process discipline and measurement. PSP 1 and 1.1 is about introducing estimates and plan. Okay? That you have to remember. At level 2, we are talking about estimation and planning. At level 1, we talked about discipline and measurement. Okay? Discipline, measurement. Level 1 is about, I mean, here according to this 0, 1, so that's why I'm saying level 1. Level 1 is about estimating and planning. So based upon what you have to do at this level 1, PSP 1 and 1.1, that engineer, on the basis of the baseline data, which is being collected in level 0 and 0.1, he estimates how large a new program will be, and he prepares a test report. That is called as a PSP 1. So, on the basis of the data being collected, on the basis of the requirements being gathered, this measurement has been done. This estimation has been done that how large that new program will be, and that accumulated data, that collected data from the previous projects is used to estimate the total time. So that estimation of the complete effort happening at this level. So on the personal grounds, grounds of the software engineer. So each new project will record the actual time spent. This information is used for task and schedule planning and estimation. Okay. So here what is happening? We are first at PSP1 estimating the complete size of the program. We are making the test report. And then at PSP 1.1, we are planning up for the task, and we are scheduling this plan, when we have to do, when we have to start, when we have to end. So that is your level number 1, PSP 1 and PSP 1.1. I hope I made my point clear to you, and I hope you understood this. Now moving to level number 2, PSP 2 and 2.1. This level is about quality management and design. At level 2, we have to talk about management of the quality and design. At level 0, we talked about your discipline and measurement. At level 1, we talked about estimation and planning. And at level 2, we are talking about management and design. So this PSP2, in this one what happens, it adds up two new phases, design review and code. It is written over here, you can see that. I'll tell you what is it. So whatever design is being done for the development of the softwares of the projects, that is to be reviewed and the coding is to be reviewed. Defect prevention, removal of them, they are the focus of this PSP. Okay? So obviously when we are talking about reviews, that means we want to find out the flaws in the thing, whatever happened on the earlier stages. Now this coding designing, it is being reviewed, the faults have been, if some faults have been injected, if faults have have to be removed, that part comes under this level 2 of PS. Now what is to be checked over here, the engineers have to learn to evaluate and improve their process by measuring how long tasks take and the number of defects they inject and how to remove them in each phase of development. Engineers have to construct their checklist for design and code reviews. After how much time they will review their code, after how much time they will review their design. On that basis, this planning happens. This PSP 2.1 introduces design templates, the specification of the complete design of the project or the product that have to be developed, and the techniques analysis is done over here in 2.1. Okay, so this is your three levels that you have to remember. So all in all, we have to talk about, we are gathering the data, we are estimating, we are planning, and then we are reviewing it. And if some flaws are coming up, we are checking it out on a continuous manner. And finally, we have control on our the quality of the process that we are utilizing, which we are developing the data. So that is your PSP process, PSP phases, and all in all together, it gives you the complete part of this PSP. What PSP is all about, how engineers can improve themselves on the personal thing. And after that, after this, all these phases, together PSP will work with TSP. When person will get improved by himself, he will become skillful on the personal self, then he can perform well in team also, in a confident manner, in a more skillful manner. So that is the purpose of this PSP and TSP. So up to this point, if you are having any doubts, please message in the chat box. This diagram was very important. For sure question can come up from this part. So you can message in the chat box or after the class also. If you are getting any doubts, you can message or WhatsApp also. So before discussing these benefits, we have to know some of the objectives of this PSP. What are some objectives? So I will just tell you some of the points that you have to remember, which you can utilize in your exam. So this PSP, the main aim is to provide the engineers with disciplined methods for improving personal software development processes. I'm not saying software development processes, I'm saying personal software development processes. Remember that term. There is a difference. So this PSP helps the engineers when they are going through all the phases, when they are doing things in the planned way, and they're following all the phases of PSP. So it helps the engineers to improve their estimation and planning skills, to improvise the way of commitments that they can keep, to manage the quality of their projects, and to reduce the number of defects in their work. So it becomes, these becomes the objectives of this PSP process, that utilizing this PSP we can achieve these. Okay, I hope you got the clearance about this one. Then finally we have to cover up the benefits. Um, it increases the personal commitment by investing each engineer with process responsibility. Obviously, I will not say cram things. Don't go with cramming. Just understand, if you have understood what is PSP, now many of you, if you have heard the complete thing till now properly, you can make your own answers. I can give you 100% guarantee for that. So another benefit is it assists engineers in making accurate plans. It provides steps engineers can take to improve their personal and project quality. It sets benchmarks to measure personal process improvements, and it demonstrates the impact of process changes on an engineer's performance. So here you have to all in all talk about the performance of an engineer who is working in the organization and he is trying to improve himself. Okay. So these are some things that you have to remember. And one more thing, some of the terms I want to tell you. Next one is about our team software process. But before this, I wanted to tell you, you must have heard these terms in your software engineering also when you have studied that. Um, some of the measurement things that they can ask. What can be the measures um, or measurement units to check this PSP process. So first one is size of the project, and size of the project is measured in the terms of LOC, lines of code. I hope you know this term. Any one of you tell me what is LOC and what is KLOC? Okay, fine. Not a problem. This is a size measure, and it is being measured in the terms of LOC and KLOC. KLOC is thousands lines of code, and LOC is lines of code. Second term is effort, the time required to complete a task. Usually, it is being recorded in the terms of minutes. Quality, the number of defects in the product. On the basis of that, the quality is being determined. And the last one is schedule, a measure of project progression, how the project is being progressing, and tracked against planned and actual completion dates. On the basis of the actual dates that is being planned, estimated time, estimated effort, on the basis of that, this schedule has been checked. So these two three terms they can ask you on what basis the measurement for the project happens. Okay. So first you have to remember is size of the project, effort in the project, quality of the project, and schedule, estimated time. Okay, completion dates you can say. So that's it about your PSP, and that is enough. If I will get something more to discuss about PSP, I will discuss with you for sure. But I think this much is enough to remember things. What is PSP? What can be the objectives of PSP? What are the benefits of PSP?